on the waist. You're letting them go. They're falling off track. We bring them back. We bring them back. Right? So that has to be our visual when we think about, am I starting a coach right? And as I go through this tonight, if you can start thinking back, for those of you who have a business and sponsor some coaches, if you can go back and start thinking, wow, I don't think I did that very good. I'm not sure I did that. Then you're going to be able to start, and we're going to talk a little about that towards the end of this part tonight, and that is how to go back and re-engage some of those people, because some of us weren't good at it. And you know what? I'm not blaming you because somebody didn't do that for you, so what do you know what to do? As I've been teaching this, the most impact I've seen is because once you do it, guess what? They do it, right? And it gets duplicated in your group. Now you've got a bunch of people going around knowing what to do instead of people running around not knowing what to do. The second visual I want to give you is, let's say I'm out in the forest somewhere, and I'm standing at the end of this road, and Jim comes up to me and he goes, hey, my name's Jim. Oh, I'm Craig. Hey, do you know how to get to the lake? Now, what can I do with Jim? I can say, okay, yeah, I do know how to get there. Go down this road, you'll see a big tree, turn right. When you get to the next big tree, make a left, you'll see this big old bush, turn right there, and you'll be at the lake. I can say that to Jim, right? Or I can do this. Hey, Jim, follow me. Okay? Let's go together. And I can stand next to Jim, and I can walk to the lake with him, giving him direction how to get there. When Jim stumbles, I can pick him up and say, come on, Jim, we're all right? Sorry you tripped over a rock. Let's go. And so I'm going to get him to the lake because I'm going with him. As a coach, we go with him. Now I say to Jim, my first question as we start to talk tonight, if I'm calling up Jim and I'm going to do my getting started interview with Jim because he's decided he wants to get in my business, first of all, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a time to do that. And if I can see him in person, that's what I want to do. But if he's not a local guy, I say, Jim, we have a priority here. What you need to do is I need an hour of your time on the phone. I don't want your kids around. I don't want your wife around. I just want you and me on the phone because I need to help you get started in this business. So I'm going to put a priority on that time. So many of us start a coach and we start, well, I got to get them signed up. You call them up and say, oh, hi, Mary, listen. Oh, just giving it to my kids. Oh, geez. Okay, go ahead. What? And you're on the phone with them and you're trying to figure out what they're supposed to do and how to get on the computer and how to do all this stuff. And you're not even engaging with those people. It doesn't put a priority on the business, right? So I'm going to make sure I set up a time. If I sponsor Jim in the business, I'm going to set up a time where we're going to have an hour on the phone together. And it's going to be a priority of an hour. You know, we're going to be doing stuff and starting his business correctly. You wouldn't hire someone to come to work for you and bring all their kids and everybody running around the room and try to interview them. Okay, I want to build a relationship with them to let them know I'm going to coach you. I'm going to put you on the bike and I'm going to teach you how to get there. My first question to Jim, once we establish that, I call him up, I say, Jim, what do you want from this business and when do you want it? Magical question for you, for your person. Because if he says I want to make $5,000 a month in 12 months, I said, then we're going to run to the lake. We're not going to walk, we're going to run to the lake. Okay? And let me tell you what that entails. Right? And then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a plan for Jim and I to run to the lake. Right? And I'm going to create accountability with what he told me. Because people always say, well, what if they don't want to get started that quickly? Well, I find that out right up front. What do you want? When do you want it? Right? If I don't know that, if I don't know what your goals are, then how am I going to get you started right? I might assume you want to sprint to the lake and you want to crawl to the lake. You know, so I'll just make $100 a month the next 5 years. That's cool. That's okay, but that's a different program for us, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to talk. We're going to set up when do you want it, when do you want to get to the lake, and when do you want, what do you want and when do you want it? And Jim's going to go, I want it $5,000 a month in 12 months. I said, great. Okay, so if you look through this, turn it over to the first page here. And this is what I'm going to do with Jim. Okay, here's what you need to do with your people. You need to create an expectation between the two of you. Right? If I'm going to work with Jim, he needs to know what I expect from him if we're going to work together. Now, I know for some of you think, well, this is kind of strong. No, this is leading. Okay, this is the posture of leadership. Wade Phillips wasn't leading that team, and I'm not saying it was all his fault, so he's gone. In order to be a coach, you have to lead. You don't, as a coach, go out on your football field. You know, I played professional baseball. None of my coaches ever showed up and said, hey, here's a ball and a bat. I'll see you in about 3 hours, and leave the field. And those of you who are athletes in here, what do? They engage. They teach, for me, to bunt, hit and run, how to pick people off, throws to second base. All the stuff, fundamentals you learn in the business, that's coaching. Right? So that's what we need to do for our people. We can't just give them a ball, tell them to figure it out themselves. And that's what so many of us do in this business. We say, oh, just go talk to your friends. Right? Just make a list of names and go talk to your friends. Go get on Shakeology, what you need to do. And then put the list together and just tell them about the business. And I meet people all the time. I say, what are you doing in this business? You know what they say? Oh, I'm just getting it out there. What does that mean? You're getting it out there. Well, I talk to people every day about it. That's not giving them a chance. You know, that's not giving them a chance to see. I'm not saying you shouldn't talk to people every day, but you're engaging them to give them information so they start to get this thing. Because this business, until you get the whole story, you haven't got it yet. The whole story is not P90X. That's a part of it. The whole story is not insanity. It's a part of it. The whole story is not Shakeology. It's a part of it. The whole story is not just Carl's vision. That's a part of it. But all of it together, we got a huge opportunity. But we give people this little bit, and that little bit, and this little bit, and we expect them to make a decision about their business, right? So we need to give them the story of what's here with us. You know, that's why you have life change pictures and physical. But you know what? The greatest part of this business is people standing up and telling their life change. That moves me. You know, you can give me all the promotional stuff and you can give me all the information, but when someone stands and says, I was here, and then this, in 90 days later, 180 days later, or 120, I lost 180 pounds on this product with Shakeology, I'm listening, because that's somebody's life changed. And even though a lot of us don't have that huge monumental testimonial physically, if we could stand up and talk about what it's done to us, just to have a shot again, to have some hope in our life again, what does that do for us as coaches? What does that do for us as human beings? And those people are all around us every single day. And so what the whole idea of, as you get a coach started, is we got to create expectation for one another. So if you look at this, okay, first question I'm going to ask Jim, is your word good to me, Jim? Okay, if we're on this call together, this is my first question, Jim, is your word going to be good to me? Now again, this is a posture of leadership. I know for some people, well, that sounds pretty strong. No, it's not. People want to be led. You guys, people want us to lead them. If you're going to sponsor them, lead them. Don't just bring them in the business and let them try to flail and figure it out for themselves, right? My responsibility, I'm going to tell you right now, if I bring Jim in the business, my first 30 days, my goal is for him to be an emerald with 2 emeralds broken. My first 30 days. And if he doesn't do it, it's my fault, not his. I'm taking responsibility because I'm going to make that business grow. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to take charge of his business because he said he wants it. He said he wants to build a business. And I'm believing him. Okay? So I just tell him right up front, hey, one of the things you're going to do, our first 30 days, you're going to be an emerald. In fact, you'll be emerald by the end of next week. Okay? You okay with that? That's good to me. And I meet people, they've been in the business for like 3 or 4 months. I go, what level you at? Well, I'm almost emerald. I go, are you kidding me? Have you been asleep for 3 months? How can you be almost emerald? That's 2 people, right? And you know who I blame? Their sponsor, their coach. You haven't gotten in front of 3 people they know and gotten them excited about their business. You haven't helped that person succeed the first 30 days. You know, that's unbelievable. See, I built my business with that kind of urgency. But Amway was different. In 30 days, if someone didn't sponsor one, they quit. They wouldn't even stay in. This business has the largest retention rate of any network company that's ever existed. The average coach stays in Beachbody 16 months. That's unbelievable. Whether they ever do anything or not, they stay in at least 16 months. That's huge. There's not a company, I don't care if it's MonaV, Univera, I don't care what's out there, no company can say that. And you know why it is? It's because it's people like you. They want to be around. They don't want to leave. They're afraid something just might happen for them. It's true. And then all of a sudden they start seeing they've lost a little weight. Their waist's a little small. There's a reason to stay around. And that's what we give people. So I'm going to ask them, is your word good to me? Jim says, yes, it is. How many hours a week can you find right now, Jim, to make $50,000 more a year? I don't say how many hours a week you want to work the business. I say how many hours a week could you clear in your calendar right now to make $50,000 more a year? Trust me. When people hear 50,000 a year, I can find a few. Right? Well, what's a few? I could find 12 to 15 a week if I could make 50,000 a year. Great, that's what we'll work with. Okay, so now I've got that from them. Are you willing to commit to personal growth? And I just tell Jim, you know, maybe Jim, what do you do for a living?
Security.
Okay, Jim works security. Okay, so I know right now Jim knows nothing about network marketing. Right? He's a security guy. He works in the security industry. So I can assume right up front that he doesn't know much. So the thing I tell him, Jim, in order to succeed in this business, you're going to have to grow and change. Okay? And I'm going to help you do that. And if you trust me, I can teach you, number 1, what to do to build this business, but number 2, the kind of person you got to become to build it. Because there's 2 types of people. There's those that walk in the room and you're excited, and those that leave and you're excited. You ever notice that? 2 types of people. A lot of people get in this business, including Yo. When I got in the business, I was not the most personable guy. I was a cop. You know, when you were in the police academy, you're an a-hole unless proven otherwise. That's how you say, no, seriously, that's how you live. When you approach a car, you're going to kill me, so I'm going to approach it that way. So you have this tendency to be negative. And, you know, so I was not the most positive person when I got in the business. My sponsor said, you need to read. I said, dude, I don't read. He said, man, you're broke. I said, give me a book. Okay, I mean, this wasn't hard. Okay, if that's what it takes, I'll change. Right? I mean, I had to change my entire language to talk to anybody because every other word was 4 letters because I worked in